Alright, Introduction to Autocad Electrical Interface, Chapter 2. Topics cover the major and topic covered in the chapter are Introduction to System Requirements starting AutoCAD Electrical and AutoCAD starting a drawing. Introduction to AutoCAD Electrical, and this today the word AutoCAD Electrical self-defined the name of the CAD industry, one of the beginning of the electrical CAD software industry. If we move back with the history, first version of AutoCAD desktop application came out around in 1982 with the name of the AutoCAD version 1.0. From 1982 till today, AutoCAD has undergone continuous enhancement modifications, but is the specifically specialty of the AutoCAD is still retained with the position of the number one CAD industry. The AutoCAD Electrical is built with on the known platform of AutoCAD. The latest version of AutoCAD Electrical 2016, most advanced model of the AutoCAD Electrical available for us. Software has expanded more of the interface of the AutoCAD Electrical has become the most friendly. One, the 2016 version software rich capabilities for the operate with the AutoCAD converter with the 3D electrical CAD and electrical model for every tool for the command has more than one way to invoke for the software, give the access for the customized as in per user requirements. Although the software it can be capable of the performing 3D operation, but with the bulk of the concentrate with the 2D creation. Now we'll learn with the AutoCAD Electrical. There will be discover the interface with the AutoCAD Electrical. Before the discover the starting the AutoCAD Electrical, please check system requirements to run AutoCAD Electrical 2016 properly. The system requirements are given in the operational windows of 7 or 8 or higher. The CPU type of the minimum premium Pentium or Anthem processor. Memory of 2 gigabytes or 4 gigabytes per 64-bit. Display resolution 1024 over 76 8. True color display card, displays point device, media browser, net framework. Additional requirement to large data points are memory 8 gigabytes of RAM, disk space of 6 gigabytes or freer. Display card. Starting AutoCAD Electrical. Click on the start button with the taskbar of the AutoCAD Electrical and search box for this little option related to the AutoCAD Electrical will display in Figure 1. And then click the AutoCAD 2006 link button with the AutoCAD Electrical into lab with the background processing and the complete with the interface is described in Figure 2. First screen of AutoCAD Electrical is divided in 3 columns, with the first column is starting with the drawing, with the second column is opening with the race and document, the third column of which for the connect with the connect other user of the AutoCAD Electrical, you have the Autodesk information. Now, then your first task is to create with the drawing document, real word we find with the drawings generally 2 unit system, metric and imperial. We will now learn to create the drawings in both unit systems. Creating a new drawing on the document, click down on the start drawing button. First of the column list of drawing templates will be displayed and refer to Figure 3. Let Figure 3 show the list of the templates. Select the desired template from the list of the drawing environment. Will open it up according to the selected template in Figure 4. Figure 4 shows the AutoCAD Electrical with the ACAD ISO template. Meaning the default templates. The ACAD name with the plot file with the DWT with the U with the template with the create with the drawing imperial unit system feet and inches. They can be printed in black and white. ACAD names plot style with the 3D WT with the templates with the create with the 3D model imperial unit system. They can be printed in black and white. ACAD WT with the template we can create drawing with imperial unit feet and inches that can be printed in color. ACAD 3D WT with the template with the create with the 3D with imperial unit with the feet and inches. That can be printed in color. ACAD ISO name plot style WT. U with the template can create with the drawing metric unit style with a millimeter that can be printed in black and white. ACAD ISO name plot style with 3D WT. With U with the template create with a 3D model and metric unit system millimeter that can be printed with black and white. ACAD 3D WT. With U with the template create with a 3D model with a metric unit system millimeter that can be printed in color. Tutorials.arc. U with the WT with a U with the template with a create with the architectural drawing compatible with a tutorial with a default library note with the unit of the template is imperial in feet and inches. Tutorial IMFGWT. Use the template. You can create mechanical manufacturer drawing that are compatible with the tutorial default library note that the unit is template is imperial with the feet and inches. Tutorial MArch WT with the template can create the architectural drawings compatible with the tutorial with the default library note with the unit of the template is metric millimeters. Tutorial MFG MWT Use the template created with the mechanical manufacturer drawing that are compatible with the tutorial default. Use the units for the template is a metric millimeter. No template. Imperial. Use the template created with the new drawing with the imperial unit system without using any template. No template. Metric. Use the template can create with the new drawing. Use the metric unit simple without using template. Electric templates. Templates files start with the ACE or AutoCAD Electrical. With the electrical drawings. Also, you can use the ACAD Electrical DWT, ACAD Electrical IEC WT, or for creating AutoCAD electrical drawings. You will learn these templates later in this book. Now we know about the default label templates for the create with the new document. Simple. Select the template. Now you will learn about the interface that divides with the AutoCAD electrical interface. The following sections: title bar, application menu, ribbon, draw, title bar, or drawing area, command window, bottom bar. Now we'll discuss each section one by one. Your title bar is the top string with a quick access toolbar, name of the document with the connectivity operation over the figure 5. Or your application button menu display application menu, which we'll discuss later. The quick access toolbar contains the list of the very common tool while working. Quick access toolbar contains tools for creating new files, saving the current file, printing file with so you can add desired tools into the quick access toolbar, which you can learn later. The center side of the toolbar showing the name of the drawing. Search box, use the search for the desired topic. AutoCAD electrical help, and to use the option with the keyword, which for the information from the top text box adjacent such button is press enter for the keyboard. Sign in button is you for the time of the Autodesk account. If you're not having an Autodesk account, then you create with the Autodesk website. Then you can create one from the Autodesk website. If you have an Autodesk account, you can save it and share with the files to the Autodesk cloud, and render for the cloud with a very fast server to sign in with the Autodesk account. Click on the sign in. As a result, drop down display with the figure 6. Click the sign on Autodesk 360 button. As a result, Autodesk sign in dialog will be displayed in figure 7. Then enter for the ID and password. Click on the sign in button and log in. Figure 6 show the sign in option, and then the figure 7 show the additional dialog box. Exchange apps. If you use the install the apps of the Autodesk product, you click on the Exchange app button to exchange the apps web page with the open with a browser where you can buy and try various apps per requirement. Help button, you can display with the online help with the AutoCAD electrical with the Autodesk server. If you click on the down arrow with the next help button, then list of the option for the display in figure 8. If you want to use the offline help, then click on the download offline helpline option. Figure 8 shows the help menu, and then figure 9 shows the offline help link. Click on the desired language link to download the help file with the respective language. Now you need to change the color scheme of the AutoCAD electrical because of the printable compatibility. Although you can retain present color scheme, they change the color scheme. The steps are given next. Change the color scheme. Click on the application button, and the application menu will display it in figure 10, and then show the application window menu. Click on the options and button on the application and menu. The options dialog box we'll discuss in figure 11. Figure 11 shows the option dialog box. Click on the dark button with the Windows element list options will be displayed. Click on the light option with the drop down figure 12 with the windows can be either the color scheme would be or the dark or light. In the light option with the color scheme with the drop down, click on the colors button with the figure 11. The draw windows color with the dialog will be displayed and shown in figure 13. Show the drawing with colors with the show of the context interface with the color with the restore color and current context and restore all context with the restore classic colors. Note that with these options, the dialog box you change the color of the element of the interface. Select one with the background interface element with the list box with the drop down with the colors with the select the white option for figure 14. Color drop down. Similar one by one, select with the background option of the interface element set with the colors to white. You can change the interface between background, ground, horizontal, interface elements. Select crosshair option, interface element with the black option from the color drop down. Click with the apply close with the drawing window, close with the dialog box. Click on the OK with the option with the dialog box. Drawing area interface with the display with the color with the suitable with the printing of the book. The application menu contained with the tools with the related with the overall function of the AutoCAD electrical with the function include with the opening, save with the creating with the documents, printing and publishing with the exporting with the document, with the drawing, property configuration option with the AutoCAD electrical with no one by one. We'll discuss each field with the option with the application menu. New options. Click with the application button with the hover over the cursor over the new option with the menu option for the new documents if the will display in figure 16. So here's your menu with the options and the new documents. The version AutoCAD electrical. There's two options for the create with the new document, drawing or sheet set. Using the drawing option, you can create with an individual drawing file, which over the model with the various views of the model of the orthographic projection. Using a sheet set, you can create a group and interrelay with the drawing forms in the form of the sheets. Creating drawings, click on the drawing option with the new option with the select with the template dialog box will be displayed in figure 17. Alright, selecting a template dialog box shown in figure 17. Select the desired template with a dialog box number that each of the template has already been discussed. If you want to create the document without using any of the above template the desired unit only, then click the down arrow next to the open button on the dialog box. Drop down will display in figure 18. Show the open with no template numeric or metric. Clicking the open with no template with the imperial at the bottom button will work the feet and inches within the loading within any template. Otherwise, click on the open with the no template metric button will work in millimeters without loading in any template. Otherwise, click on the open button with the drop down create with the drawing. Either select the template, note with the directly select with the open button with the dialog box that also have the function with the similarity. Note the file type. Drop down with the dialog drawing type drawing template the DWT extension open with the select. You're able to select the template. You can also have the previous drawing with a template to do so. Click on the drawing DWT option with the file with the type of the drop down will expand with figure 19. Figure 19 show the file with the type of the drop down. So we have the drawing DWT, drawing WG, and standard DWS. The drawing DWG option with the list, so you'll be able to select any drawing and play for the template. The rest of the procedure in the same. Creating sheet sets. The creating sheet sets option with the new option with the application menu at the beginning of the page with the create sheet sets dialog box will display in figure 20. Alright, show figure 20, show the beginning of the page for the creating sheet set, the dialog box. You have the sheet set example of details, conform, and set using, and then back and forth in the wizard. If you want an example of sheet set, select the example sheet set radio button with the page with the club more than one drawing with the form of the sheet set. By using existing drawing radio button, we'll select an example sheet with the radio button with the time being. Click on the next button with the dialog box sheet set with example of the create sheet set dialog box display in figure 21. 21 show the sheet set example of the page for the create sheet dialog box. Select the desired sheet template with the box with a click with the next button with the dialog box. The sheet set details page will display with the figure 22 with the name of the sheet set. Edit with the box to specify the name of the sheet set desired. Click on the browse button next to the store sheet of the set data file DWS data set file DST here in the edit box for the browse sheet set folder dialog box display in figure 23. Figure 22 show the detail page for the creating the sheet set dialog box. Figure 23 show the browse and sheet set folder dialog box. Browse the desired folder. Click on the open button with the set of the directory. You can properly view the dialog box play with the clicking on the sheet setting property button in the page. Click on the next button from the page with the confirm the page with the display with the preview of all property for the figure 24. Figure 24 show confirming the creating sheet dialog box. Click for the finish button on the page for the sheet set manager will display with the current sheet set with the figure 25. Figure 25 shows your sheet set manager. You will learn more about the sheet sets later in this book. Open option. With the option you can open the file with a different format, a different location and version of AutoCAD Electrical. You can open the drawing with a local drive with the cloud Autodesk 360. You can open sheet sets with a local drive that can import the DWGN format file with the open file sample files, local drive with the online with the note with the procedure of the open all of the type of the files, and similar to over here we'll discover the opening of the procedure for the opening of a file with a local drive. Opening a drawing file. Click on the drawing option with the open options and with the application menu. Select the file with the dialog box for the display in figure 26. With the browse with the desired folder, select the file whether you want to open with the AutoCAD Electrical. Click the open button to open the file. Figure 26 says to select the file dialog box. Note that there are three more methods for the opening file with the opening and the read only with the open, partially opening and read as only, partial content option with the display, clicking on the down arrow next to the open button with the figure 27. The partially opening the drawing file means skipping some of the layers but not for use of our use. Layers in transparent sheet with the drawing something with the AutoCAD Electrical. Each drawing is stacking multiple layers on one another. Show the opening option menu. Open and read only, partial and partially open read only. If you want to open the file with the read only, don't want to make changes, then select with the open read only for the option with the drop down. If you want to open the drawing with the file with the partial, select with the partial option with the drop down with the partial dialog box display in figure 28. Figure 28 shows you the partial option dialog box. You have the index status of the view of the geometry load with the loaded geometry layer with the load layer name and loaded geometry. Upload the X reference only and load all clear OK cancel and help. Select the checkbox corresponding with the layers included while opening for the drawing. Click the open button with the dialog box for the file will open with the selected layer with the similarly open file partially reading only with the partial only open reading only position. Save the option, save the current layer and file with the local drive and later use the steps of the file with the given next. Click save the option for the application menu. Save the drawing as the dialog box will be displayed in figure 29. Figure 29, show the save dialog box. Check the file name with the describe of the clip. Click on the file with the type of the drop-down file format. Open on the clicking on the file type of the drop-down list of the format displayed with the shown Figure 30. Figure 30 AutoCAD electrical file formats. Grab the desired location you want to save with the file, with the note, with the buttons, with the left arrow, with the dialog box. Access some of the common application location, document, desktop, of the FTP, or so on. So with the save with the button file, with the be saved with the specified setting. Applying a password to the file. Nobody apply with the password drawing for the security of the design to apply with the password file with the steps given. And saving the drawing as the dialog box. Click on the down arrow with the tool button. Refer to Figure 21 for the list of the options displayed. So you can go from the tools, the save drawing button, and then go to the tools and add modify current folder to play with add favorites, open the security option. Click on the security option button with the drop down security option dialog will display in Figure 32. Show the password, digital signature phrase for the opening of the drawing, encryption, and advanced option OK and cancel and help. Specifically password security with the edit with the corresponding password, encrypt the drawing property with the check with the properties box, the encrypt the property with the drawing. Then specifying with the password advanced option with the button must be active. Then click on this button with the encryption provider for this part of the requirement. If you're sending the file to someone else, you can then make sure the person has the same encryption agent in its system. Click on the OK button with the dialog box to confirm the password dialog box is displayed and shown Figure 33. Figure 33 shows the confirmation password dialog box. Type the password again, click OK button with the dialog, then save with the bathroom button in with the dialog box. Save as. The option with the save file with a different format with the step to the option with the give it the next text. Click with the arrow, save it as the application menu, save with the option for the display in Figure 34. If you want to save the file with a different AutoCAD electrical format, click on the other formats button with the listed options, save with the drawing with the dialog box with the display with the discussed earlier. Note that some of the additional formats display with the file with the type of the drop down, select with the desired file format, list the save the button with the dialog box to save with the file. Note that the layer will work with 3D models, some of the more options available with the drop down list. Export with the option the option with the section with the save of the file with the external formats. The option with the section with the format work is in the same way with the save option work with the steps of the export a file with an IGES format or given. Next, you apply the same procedure with the same file with the format. Hold with the cursor export application menu option related exporting the file with the display in Figure 35. So X35 shows the export options. Click on the other formats button for the button listed for the export dialog box for display in Figure 36. You will get an export dialog box. Specify the desired name of the file name in the edit box with a click on the file with the top down list of the format display in Figure 37. And you will have the file and the name and the type of the export. Selecting IGES options, listed quick control, click on save button with the dialog with the save of the file with the selected format, publish option selection, use the package of the transfer of the file with external source, like a 3D printer, web surface, email transfer, to send to the 3D printer surface the option, you must have a 3D model which can be sent with a 3D printing with the head of the model with a click on the button with a selected model that you can print, archive the option with the package, the files and transfer note with this option. You need to create with the sheeting set drawing. If you have a sheet set, clicking on the button, you can package the file into a zip format. E-transmit option, you use the package and file with the compress of the files and first fast electronic transfer email option, you use directly email with the current file with your client. And then print. Printing is an important requirement for the CAD industry. All of the design, manufacturing for the control of the base of the printing, copy of the drawing, with the get the printing on the file, with the steps give it the next. Click on the plot option with the print option for the application menu, with the plot dialog box with the display with the model option. Refer to Figure 38 with the model space for the workforce AutoCAD electrical, which 3D view with the model with the display with the layout, and the paper space with the workspace wherever the model with the display with the paper print form. It advises the shift the layout with the paper space before the printing of the paper. So you end up with the name of the plot, with where the description, paper size, plot area with the plot scale, with the scale of the plot offset with the original or some of the plotted area, preview, play out, output, and add, and OK and cancel and help. Select with the printer plot with the name of the drop-down printer plot area with the dialog box fee, Figure 39, printer selection. Select with the paper side with the drop-down, paper side with the dialog box, check with the center of the block, center of the plot with the check box with the drawing with the center of the paper, the check with the fit of the paper, check box with the current paper side, the check with the more option, press the Alt plus the greater than sign to the dialog box with the dialog box that's displayed and shown in Figure 40. So the Figure 40 shows the extended plot dialog box, show the name of the page, show the paper side for the plot offset, plotting options along with the drawing option, shading viewpoints, and plot style table. Select the landscape radio button with the drawing orientation dialog box. Print with the drawing landscape orientation plot. Select with the plot upside down. Check with the drawing orientation as reverse printing with the side of the paper to increase the decrease with the quality of the print. Select with the desired quality option. Quality with the drop down shaded viewport option is the area. Click the OK button with the dialog box for the printing drawing. Will you learn more about the printing layer in this book? Your drawing tab bar. With the drawing tab bar contained with the tab of each of the drawings is open. Refer to figure 41. Show the drawing tab board, drawing 1, 2, and 3 in the tabs like a file folder. Figure 41 show the drawing to a tab bar. With the various functions that perform with the drawing tab bars are discussed next. The hold the cursor over the tile with the drawing file with the drawing tab bar. Interactive box will display with the line when you switch from between model with the paper space layouts for figure 42. Figure 42 then shows you that you have a model and layouts 1 and 2. Click on layout 1 and 2, switch to the paper source mode, which will switch back to model space mode by using the same procedure. You can create with a new drawing file with a click on the plus sign next to the drawing title ongoing. So for the starting page of Autocad Electrical will be displayed. You have the option for this page. You can start with a new drawing and discuss earlier drawing area with the blank area between the drawing tab bar with the drawing is called the drawing area. The area is created with a sketch and model within figure 43 show the annotated drawing area that we'll learn about more options related to the drawing area later in this book. Figure 43 shows your drawing area command window. With the window, you the start of the new command with specifying the parameter of the current running command. The windows available with the bottom bar. Further figure 44. Show the command window. Press Control 9 to display or hide command window. The methods of the command window. To give it the next type of the command box for the command window for the prompt and specify for the command type few alphabets. The desired command list of command relevant to the specified alphabet will be displayed in figure 45. Figure 45 shows the command list of the cursor over the name of the command and description of the command will be displayed and referred in figure 46. Shows the search or help and search on the internet. Tool description. You know how more about highlighted command with the search and help with the search on the internet button next to the command name. You control the time in the box for the brow of the command visible, not visible, but currently in the box. You can apply with specify value of the various variables. Click on the plus signs next to the variable type, variable tile in the box. Refer to figure 47. The list of variables related to specified alphabets will be displayed in figure 48. 47 shows the variable, and then 48 shows the list of variables. To start any command, specify the value of any variable to click on in the box with a restrictive option with the display of the command window with the prompt to specify the desired values. For example, L in the command line with the command window. We'll click on the line tool over the top of the command box for the prompt with the E to specify the position starting pool. Pointing over the line further figure 49, we will learn more part of this book. Escape to X out of the tool, command line dynamic prompt, input show the specify the first point, and then it gives you the origins and bottom bar. Set of the bottom bar is you for the previous various function with creating the new layout with switching between the existing one and enabling orthogonal cursor for the set in figure 50 with the option of the bottom bar discussed, and then model space and paper space for the layout. You can switch between the paper space with the model layout space with the model button and with the bottom of the bar with the display of the layout with the switch badge to the model environment. However, the cursor over the file with the name of the tile with the bar with the below with the ribbon and interactive box will be displayed be shown with the button. Switching between model and layout environment in figure 51. Clicking on the desired button to switch between model and layouts. Figure 51 shows the option of switching model with layout. Grid display. Autocad Electrical with the grid line with the reference line with the draw out. The grid display button show with the grid display with the grid line with the display. Then on the screen with the F7 of the function can be either turn off the grid lines on and off. Grid snap the option enable the snapping with the cursing with the grid points with the specified setting with the snapping and the traction with the cursor for the key point with the Autocad Electrical with the two option with the specified with the grid point. Grid snap button with the corresponding drop down with the steps of the grid snap are given the next with the grid snap and enable the snapping with the cursor key points from the grid with the clicking down with the air with the grid snap button with the fly out with the display and show and figure polar grid snap with the snap settings snap fly out bar figure 52. Selecting the grid snap the option with the snap of the cursor with the grid intersection polar snap with the option with the fly out with the snap of the cursor angular line snapping set with the fly out with the specify with the setting with the related the selected type of the snapping draft setting with the dialog box with the display with the snapping grid tab selected with the further figure 53. Show the snap type, polar size, snap on, grid size, grid space, and grid behavior, polar tracking, object snapping, 3D snapping, dynamic input, and quick snapping. Specify with the desired setting on the OK button with the dialog with the cursor will automatically start the snap at the key point with the specify with the setting with the various option with the drafting setting with the dialog to discuss in the net box. Drafting setting dialog box. You can use the drafting set for the dialog box with the draw of the modes of the grid and snap of the object with the tap and the polar over the object, snapping and attacking with the dynamic input with the offset of the modes to help you draw accurately with the increase of the drawing speed with the right click on the snap node with the grid display with the ortho mode with the polar tracking the object, snap with the 3D object, snap object, snacking, track with the dynamic input and with the quick property selecting, cycling between status bar with the display with the shortcut menu. In the shortcut menu shows the setting of the display with the drafting setting with the dialog box and shown in figure 53 with the dialog box has 7 tabs, snap, grid, polar tracking, object snap, 3D object snap, dynamic input, quick property selecting, cycle with the on, starting with the AutoCAD electrical with these tabs have the default setting. You can change them according to your requirements. You learn about them later in the book. Snapping the grid. Grid lines are checked with the lines for the screen with the preferred spacing with the figure 54 with the AutoCAD with the electrical with the default with the grid display with the check line with the display with the grids with the desired with lines. For the figure 49 with the 2D model space checkbox with the grid style with the area with the dotted lines for the graph can be used with the reference line with the drawing can change with the distance between grid lines and is per requirement and grid lines are displayed with the drawing alignments. Help with drawing limits with the help with the definement of the working area with the grid. It also gives you the idea with about the size of the drawing object with the display with the grid up to limit to clear with the display grid beyond limit. Checkbox now with the grid will display it only on up limited sets. Figure 54 show with the grid. 55 show with the dotted grid. Ortho mode. Ortho mode button shows and draws and you would like with the right angle. You can see with the F8 with the function with the turn off and on off. Polar tracking button restrict the cursor movements with the along with the angle specified with the polar track with the polar tracking angle with the click down on the drop bar with the power tracking button. Listed option will display in figure 56. Figure 56 shows your polar tracking angles. Click with the desired angle with the option with the lift of the cursor will start with the button tracking and with the per select the angle option specified with the setting with the polar tracking. Click with the tracking setting with the button from the list of options. Drafting setting dialog box with the display with the polar tracking tab with the selected with the figure 57. Figure 57 with the drafting staff setting with the dialog box with the polar tracking tab. Click with the incremental angle with the angle with the drop down select with the desired angle with the specified more than one angle track with the additional angle check black with the click with the new button with the BS. You specify the additional angle with the entire with the desired angle with the edit box with the file with the same procedure specifying up to 2 additional angle with the click on the OK button and apply the specified setting. Isometric drafting. The button you can enable the isometric drafting procedure for the option with the give it a neck for the isometric drafting button with the button. The orientation cursor will be changed with the current isometric plane selected with the figure 58. 58 with the cursor orientation select with another isometric click with the down here with the isometric drafting button and with the isometric plane will display in figure 59. Hit your left top and the right iso plane. Select with the desired isometric plane and the cursor will orientated accordingly. Your annotation button with the group of the 4 buttons with the annotation button with the AutoCAD electrical refer to figure 60 with the annotation buttons. These buttons give you the advantage of the annotation with the display with the drawing area. Everybody will learn more about these options within this book. Workspace switching. Fly out even between the various workplaces and spaces if available. The AutoCAD electrical with the workspace if it's defined with the customized arrangement and with the ribbon of the toolbar with the menu window palettes. AutoCAD electrical environment can also be click on the drawdown arrow near the gear symbol of the bottom button bar and fly out display in figure 61. Figure 61 shows the workspace switching fly out button on the annotation. Should be workspace switching. 4 defaults to ACAD electrical with the 2D drafting annotation, ACAD electrical 3D modeling, ACAD 2D drafting annotation, 3D model, AutoCAD electrical drafting, engine 2D drafting and annotation work display with the tool option with the 2D electrical drafting, AutoCAD electrical and 3D modeling workspace with display with the tool with the option related with the 3D electrical modeling. In this environment, you generate isometric drawing with the 2D drafting annotation workspace with the display with the 2 tools to perform 2D drafting and gem with the 3D modeling workspace with the displays. Almost all of the tools required to perform advanced modeling. Hardware acceleration on the buttons you set the performance of the software to an acceptable level to isolate with the object with the push button with the isolate the hide isolate object with the drawing area. The choosing of the button fly out with the beam will be displayed in 2 options. Choose with the isolate object with the option fly out, but then select with the option with the hide or isolate. And isolation display with the hide object. We'll click on the button again. Choose the end object isolation option. Clear screen button lower right hand corner of the screen. The button show with the display with the expanded view with the drawing area with the hiding of the all toolbars except for the command window. Status bar menu bar with expanded view with the drawing area with the ability to display by the choosing view clean screen. From the menu bar or by even the control 0 key including Control plus 0 key. Choose the clean the screen button again with the previous display for the shape of the customization. This option, you customer over the bottom bar. You can add, remove the bottom bars per requirement. Click on the customization button, right corner over the bottom bar with the flyout with the display figure 62 with the option with the display with the ticket with the marker R with the variable with the bottom bar. Other options are not, and the display with the other options are hide or current displaying options. Click on them and then the flyout. And then show 5062, figure 62 customization flyout. For example, clicking on the units option with the flyout will be able to the bottom bar refer to figure 63. Now you can change the unit style with clicking on the option with the bottom bar anytime while working. Figure 63, show the unit option system variable to monitor. This is for the one enhancement figure 2016 version of Autocad based on the software earlier, which give the type of the system variable change with the value of the 2016 version. There's an interactive way that changes the system variable. Check the system variable to monitor button for the bottom of the bar. System variable to monitor with the dialog box will display in figure 64. Double click on the value of the variable to change it. Note with the variable warning side of the display with the stats of the column from the variable whose value is not preferred. To add more variables to the list, click on the edit list bottom of the dialog box. Edit the variables you want to manage. Alright, so 50 or 64 shows your system variable to monitor dialog box. Stats for system variable to preferred current and help. Enable the balloon notification system variable to change, reset, and edit list. Chapter 3, Project Management.